Hi guys, it's Allie, and today I'm going to be doing the end of year book tag. So I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my god, Allie, it's been so long since you did a tag. 2 weeks, so long. We as a community love the tags. Keep them coming. And for that, I say, you're welcome. Here you go. All joking aside though, I do really like this tag because it is something a little bit more bookish, which I have not actually made a lot of bookish content recently, a lot of booktube content. Partly that's because it's been NaNoWriMo. I've been writing. That's, my focus is on that. But also I've just noticed that you guys seem to enjoy my writing videos more. They seem to have more longevity, more just views overall on my channel. So I don't know, that seems to be what you guys enjoy, so I have kind of tried to gear my focus towards that. I will be talking about books as well, hopefully a lot more in the new year, but I'm going to try to talk about them through the perspective of a writer. So I have one video idea that involves renegades and efficient storytelling, so be on the lookout for that. I don't know why this has turned into a video where I just update you on my life and my channel, but here we are. Speaking of my channel, I have gotten a lot of new subscribers lately. Hi to those of you who are new. Anyway, I'm just gonna zip it and get into these questions. Question number 1 is, are there any books you started this year that you still need to finish? Not really. Honestly, if I have stopped reading a book, I usually don't intend to come back to it and finish it later. I usually binge read a book, so I will read the whole thing in the course of a few days or something. It's very rare that I take a huge pause, except for what happened with Lifelike, which I took months to read Lifelike for some reason. Oh, but you know what? Speaking of J. Kristoff, I do have to read Nevernight because I started reading it. I only read a few chapters, but I was reading it at a time where all I could really maintain the brain power for was a beach read type thing where the story isn't too complex or anything, and I just quickly realized that Nevernight was going to be a little bit denser mentally than I was prepared to deal with at the time. So I did stop reading it then, but I wasn't DNFing it. I was just holding off on it for a while. Why does this always happen with Kristoff? I am going to end up finishing that by the end of the year because we are reading Nevernight for our Writers in Progress chats for December. We're going to be talking about trilogies, so we're going to read the whole shebang. So I will be finishing that and the whole trilogy, mostly. Question number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I guess Nevernight would probably count for this because it is kind of that kind of dark, ghosty vibe, but I haven't really read very far into the book, so I don't know. I might be completely wrong. The other book that I wanted to read, which is also the book that Liz mentioned for this prompt, so stealing her answer, is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I really like Leigh Bardugo's writing, and so I do want to read Ninth House at some point. I just have not picked it up myself yet, so that might be another one, depending on how much time is taken up by writing. If I do have another book that I can read, then probably Ninth House will be it. Question number 3 is there still a new release that you are waiting for? In terms of still waiting for, as in I bought it but it hasn't arrived yet, no, I haven't bought any other books other than Supernova, but I am still waiting to read a lot of books that came out this year because I just haven't bought them yet. So a lot of the new releases, the kind of bundle that came out all around the same time, was Supernova, Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, and The Toll, which is the end of the Scythe trilogy. So I have read all of the other books in all of those trilogies. I did read Supernova. I had it pre-ordered, so it just showed up on the day that the book released. But Queen of Nothing I've not bought yet. I have a very complicated love-hate relationship with that series. I am interested in the story enough to want the next book, but it's not a pressing issue for me. And then The Toll I really, really want to read, but I also want to reread Scythe beforehand so that I can get back on track. As for other books, there are plenty that I wanted to read that I just haven't bought yet, like Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Haven't read that yet. So yeah, there's a lot. Number 4 is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Is it a cop-out to say Nevernight and then the other 2 books in the series? That's 3. If so, then Nevernight, The Toll, and Queen of Nothing. Those are all books that I would enjoy reading before the end of the year, even if it doesn't necessarily happen. Number 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Favorite book? Probably not, because an absolutely remarkable thing exists. But as far as surprising me and becoming one of my favorite books, Nevernight is probably a contender for that because I do really like Jay Kristoff's writing, and it would be a bit of a surprise because it has been so hyped that it might be even hinging on overhyped at this point, but I'll have to see for myself. I did start reading it and then stop, so there is something to be said for that. If I was like truly drawn in from the very get-go, like I would have put everything down and read it. So maybe the beginning is just a little bit slower, a little bit denser than the rest of the book. I don't know. So I am fully expecting to like it a lot more the second time around and not wanting to put it down the second time, but we'll see. So that one could be a surprising, like, oh my god, favorite book, whatever. But do I think that Queen of Nothing will surprise me and be awesome? Probably not. Just because I have an interesting relationship with that book series, and I do want to see the way that it ends because I have always, from the beginning, had a very specific hope for the way that that series would end, but I don't think it's going to end the way that I hope it will, so that's a bummer. Plus, I think that if it ended the way that I want it to end, everybody who like loves and praises that book so much would be really disappointed, so I don't think Holly Black is going to go that way, but it's her book, so she can do what she wants. I don't think it's going to surprise me and become my favorite book of the year. I think it'll be entertaining, and that'll probably be where it ends for me. So, yeah, maybe Nevernight, maybe not. And finally, number 6 is, have you already started making reading plans for 2020? I don't really make reading plans, let's be real. I'm a mood reader to the end, so I just kind of read what I feel like, when I feel like. So I don't really plan, like, I'm going to read this many books, whatever. If there's a book that I wanted to read this year that I didn't manage to read, then I'll read it next year. And if there's a book that comes out next year that sounds interesting, I'll read that. So that's just kind of the way that my reading process works. So not really planning on anything other than reading some books. I think having a goal is like super cool for some people. I tried having like a reading goal this year and it like didn't motivate me at all. Like I still was just a total mood reader the whole way through. So I don't know. But yeah, so no real plans as far as like I'm gonna read this many books or I'm going to read this particular book goes. But any book that I haven't read by the end of this year that I still want to read, so any of the books that I mentioned, if I have not finished reading those by the end of this year, then those will be on my list for books to read at the beginning of next year. So that's as far as I go when it comes to planning. And there you have it. That is all 6 questions on this little tag. Isn't that just like so cute and short and sweet and just, ooh, wraps everything up in a nice little bow? Love it. Love a good tag. Okay, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and for bearing with me this month because this November has been absolutely crazy, filming 2 videos a week, uploading 2 videos a week, and adding all that in with like actually writing a book and anything else that just happens in life. So it's been a crazy month, but it has been a lot of fun, and I'm so glad that you guys seem to be enjoying those weekly writing vlogs. You guys can have the tea because it's the end of the video, so if you've made it this far, like, oh my god, thank you, you're adorable. But I am thinking I'm going to continue making those writing vlogs every week until I have finished the draft, because the way that it's looking right now, I was hoping I would be able to finish in the realm of NaNoWriMo, but because I hit some roadblocks right going into the 3rd act, I think I'm probably going to have to go a little bit into December as well. So depending on how things are, I'm going to try to continue doing that. We'll see, because December is also a very busy month. But so there's the tea for you guys right there. The weekly writing vlogs might not be ending, so we'll see. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Again, thanks for putting up with me. And hi to the new people. Thanks for deciding to subscribe to this. And I will see you guys in the next video.